The boss of British shoe repair giant Timpson has slammed a rail provider after staff refused to let his 15-year-old daughter board a train because she is not a child. James Timpson, the firm's chief executive, said his teenage daughter Neve was left stranded at London Euston when an inspector refused to let her through a barrier. The businessman angrily tweeted a photo of the schoolgirl's ticket, on which a Virgin Trains guard had scribbled "not a child" as he believed her to be older than 15. Calling the company a disgrace, Mr. Timpson lambasted the guard for leaving a young girl stranded 180 miles from her home in Manly, Cheshire. The businessman angrily tweeted a photo of the schoolgirl's ticket, on which a Virgin Trains guard had scribbled "not a child" as he believed her to be older than 15. James Timpson, pictured, the firm's chief executive, said his teenage daughter Neve was left stranded at London Euston when an inspector refused to let her through a barrier. A relieved Mr. Timpson, 46, added, "Good news. Just picking Neve up from Crewe Station ". He wrote, "Virgin Rail at Euston? Why do you stop a 15-year-old girl at the barriers, who has a valid ticket, from travelling home? You say she has no id to prove how old she is. It's 7 p.m. and she is alone now at the station. When did you have to prove how young you are? You are a disgrace." The tweet prompted hundreds of responses from social media users, with staff eventually allowing Neve onto the train with her £41.95 ticket. A relieved Mr. Timpson, 46, added, "Good news. Just picking Neve up from Crewe Station. Not a good experience at all of the Virgin Rail ticket inspectors at Euston. Be a kind and caring company, please." The company responded to Mr. Timpson's complaint by stressing that children who look 16 or older should carry identification. Many social media users came out in strong support of Mr. Timpson's remarks on Twitter and condemned Virgin for suggesting children should carry forms of ID. National Rail specifies that children between the ages of 5 and 15 are required to buy a ticket to travel. In most cases, these tickets are charged at about 50% of the full price of an adult. The vast majority of providers specific that children under 5 are permitted to travel for free, as long as they are accompanied by a fare-paying adult. Furthermore, those children who are traveling for free with an adult may only occupy a seat which is not required by a fare-paying passenger. Children traveling alone who are close to the age of 15 or look older than 16 are warned that it may be appropriate for proof of age to be carried. It specifies that such youngsters should carry proof of age with them when both purchasing and traveling to avoid embarrassment. Calling Virgin a disgrace, Mr. Timpson lambasted the guard at Euston, pictured, for leaving a young girl stranded 180 miles from her home in Manly, Cheshire. A spokeswoman for Virgin Trains said, "Customers under the age of 16 are eligible for a 50% discount on fares, and we do recommend that if a child looks older then it may be appropriate for proof of age to be carried when travelling. We're sorry for the experience of Mr. Timpson and his daughter, and we are in touch with them so we can look into this properly and offer a gesture of goodwill."